even my own staff at times would be like, if you want to scale, like, I don't know if we can maintain the love that we're giving to each customer and the time and the overall ability to have consultations. And what I'd say to you if you're in a similar business situation, it's like, protect that amazing customer experience at all costs until you can't, because I have to believe that if we invest more into our wellness consultants, invest more into our customers, that it will come back to us in such a strong way. And it's like, you got to invest and never stop investing in your difference makers to make them more shiny.
You're listening to the eCommerce Influence Podcast with Austin Brawner and Andrew Foxwell. If you want honest, transparent, and tangible results that deliver lasting value and revenue, this is your podcast.
Are you behind on planning for Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Klaviyo is here to help. Klaviyo is the ultimate e-commerce marketing platform for online brands of all kinds and sizes. With email automation, SMS marketing, list growth tools, and more, you've got everything you need to build strong relationships, keep your customers coming back. And with the holiday season right around the corner, there's no time like the present. Get up and running quickly with Klaviyo's lightning-fast integrations, pre-built marketing automations, they're really slick, and beautiful email templates. Today, more than 50,000 brands like Living Proof, Hint, and Chubbies choose Klaviyo to help them grow. Whether you're a billion-dollar business or just starting out, Klaviyo is the e-commerce marketing platform for growth during the holidays and long after. Get a free trial at klaviyo.com/influence. That's KLAVIYO.com/influence. With SMS quickly becoming the most important marketing channel of the decade, many e-commerce brands are excited to get their piece of the pie. But with so many SMS tools popping up, it's hard to know which tool is the best fit for your growing brand. PostScript is a leading SMS marketing platform, laser focused on one thing: building the best SMS platform for e-commerce brands on Shopify. Using PostScript, your team can grow a TCPA compliant subscriber list, use your Shopify data to create targeted text messages, campaigns, and automations, have two-way conversations with customers, and unlock a brand new marketing channel that drives big-time ROI for your store. PostScript is trusted by thousands of growing Shopify and Shopify Plus stores to manage their SMS marketing. Stop treating SMS like email and instead respect the inbox, create hyper-segmented campaigns using your data, and make your customers happy. Start your free 30-day trial of PostScript today at ecommerceinfluence.com/PostScript. That's ecommerceinfluence.com/POSTSCRIPT. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the e-commerce Influence Podcast. My name's Austin Brawner, and today I have an episode for you with a guest who's got a very interesting story about how he ended up online. He has been running brick and mortar businesses for the last 18 years, 10 years running his own businesses, 8 years at a GNC, being a manager running supplement sales. And he decided about 2 years ago to get super serious about online business. And in those last 2 years, he's sure happy that he did, because sales have been going crazy. It's turned his business really around during COVID. And he's got some interesting ideas about customer service, about training. My guest today is Tim O'Brien from findyourhealthyplace.com. And we go into all aspects of like training, running brick and mortar businesses, what he's learned from it, how to create personalized experiences online, and why he focuses on one key metric, which is consultations online, to drive growth in his business. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's dive right into it with Tim.
Thank you, brother. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to have you on the show. I know we got connected. I got this great email from Egan Heath, who's been on the show one time before, and I actually interviewed him in Madison about 1.5 years ago. He's a member of the coalition. He was like, hey, you got to interview Tim. Tim has been building a super cool business in Madison. He's doing stuff in store with brick and mortar. He's doing stuff online. He's made some crazy pivots and changes with COVID, and he's an exciting person to talk to. So that's how we got connected. I am very excited to chat with you. Well, give us kind of an overview of your business and how you got started in the wellness space.
Yeah, dude, love to. So yeah, thank you for the intro, and dude, you're a freaking rock star. Love your podcast. Love what you guys are doing, your impact in the world, and we need people helping people. You know, it's awesome. Love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Man, boy, my mom fought through cancer when I was 4 or 5 years old, and after going through chemotherapy, radiation, much of her recovery was through natural alternatives, supplements. And that's what opened the door to my family. You know, I got 4 siblings, and got my mom into that. So she got a job because of her passion for what it did for her life. She got a job at a GNC store, and it was a franchisee that had owned that store. And us kids, you know, we were homeschooled, and we would come along, you know, to work with mom. And I remember doing my homework, just watching these testimonies come through the store of, you know, Susie battling chronic pain, and my mom helping her get off the drugs, and, you know, so-and-so going through a similar cancer situation, and some of the side effects that come from chemotherapy, like chemo brain, they call it, and fatigue, and watching my mom help these people. So pretty early on, you know, it became like, man, there's a lot of people suffering, and natural alternatives can help people. So right out of high school, I got a job at a franchise owned GNC store. And that's really my first step, 18 years old. Gosh, that's 18 years ago now, you know, where it was like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? I like people. I want to help people, want to make a difference. And I know a little bit about this natural alternative thing. So why don't I give this a shot? And that really, I was good at it. You know, I loved working with people and enjoyed people, and saw these testimonies coming in, which inspired me. So I moved out to Madison, Wisconsin, to district manage some GNC stores. That was back in 2005. And a few years into that, there was a corporate takeover, and everybody lost their jobs. Not cool. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do now? Moved out, you know, to Madison, and had a good thing going. What should I do now? And so then, a year later, Becky and I, my wife and I, we were like praying, what should we do next? And we decided to start our own nutrition store. At the time, it was called Apple Wellness. And we had since changed our name to The Healthy Place, because people kept thinking we were a computer store. So that was funny. But yeah, it's like I'd get a phone call, you know, and you see my wellness consultant staff, you know, across the way, talking to somebody, telling them, okay, well, turn it off and then turn it back on. You know, explaining them how to like fix an iPhone. And so that got old. So yeah, that was back in 2010. We opened Apple Wellness, and been kind of cranking along ever since.
So you've been doing this for about 10 years. How long so initially my understanding from my research is you started with brick and mortar, and yep, then brick and mortar retail stores, and then moved into e-commerce later on. For how long did you have just the brick and mortar retail stores, and how long have you been online?
Yeah, so it started where it's like I didn't really have any interest in the online world. I wanted to follow my mom's kind of pattern of just managing a brick and mortar store. And so that was 3 years before we're finally like, okay, our customers need to be able to figure out our address online, you know, beyond a Facebook page. So that was 2013. And then we did like almost nothing for like 4 years. Very rare did I have a sale. You know, I remember like a couple times a week, I'd be like, cool, got a sale. But it didn't have much value to me because I just was focused on our own community here. And so it was like 2018 that I'm like, man, I'm moving slow. You know, I'm a 36, you know, I'm supposed to be more techie, I think, for the age bracket I'm in or something. Like, I got to get this website thing going. So that started a journey over the last 2 years, pretty intentionally focusing on the growth of the website. And so that's kind of that timeline.
It's one thing that's interesting when you look at somebody's website. It's always hard to tell how long they've been working on it. And you get to your site and you can tell from certain things you've done that you guys have been focused on it, and the way that it captures leads, the way that it directs people to products. It's really, really well done.
Thank you.
So right now, we're still we're recording this. I think Wisconsin is like peaking in the COVID numbers.
Yep.
How has COVID impacted you guys, given that you're in the wellness space, also brick and mortar and online?
Gosh, and I'll go back to what we were working on right before COVID that to help better answer your question. I heard a line, coming from somebody saying you need to reduce friction in every single part of your customer's experience, whether it's in store or online. So once I understood that concept, that was back in 2018, it was like, crap, I have a ton of friction for my customers to get our product. So that's where this race began to accommodate our customers, not just locally, but, as my eyes started to get bigger nationally. And we have a model in our stores that was like, we have this difference maker of knowledge and passion to care for the customer and care, overall customer service. These are our difference makers. How can we bring these online, like education, right? If you go to Vitacost.com, is an online retailer that's pretty big. You don't really talk to a wellness consultant. So we have these difference makers. We're like, how can we bring this online? So we got the live chat feature on our website so that they can have live consultations with a wellness consultant anytime we're open. You can go to our website, click on that, and just start asking hey, I have, Crohn's disease. What does the natural world say about that? What are natural alternatives? And so we had that going on. And when COVID hit, it was like, oh, thank God we have these things in place, because our in-store traffic plummeted. Plummeted. It's still 40% down compared to pre-COVID, but our website is 8 or 9x compared to what it was.
Wow.
Now, awesome. So thankful. And those two numbers kind of leveled each other out. So I'm not swimming in money right now. It just, one tanked and the other came up. So it's about a break even right now. What I said would happen in December, projecting 2021, I'm pretty right on track with that, which is just a miracle in my estimation. I'm just so thankful we had some of those pieces in place, and so that some of those features and those difference makers really helped us in that transition. And our website was only about 3% of our sales pre-COVID, and now it's 25 or 26% last time I checked. So it's been an interesting transition, that's for sure. All of a sudden, our community marketing director is doing same-day deliveries, and doing website work, because a community marketing director can't really go around town when there's safer at home acts going on and all that kind of thing. So everything transitioned. We had to hire more logistics folks to ship stuff out and receive, and more. We do a service in Dane County, Wisconsin here called same-day delivery. And anyway, had to hire more drivers, and so it was interesting. COVID really through a mega transition. And it's fun though, because of where we're currently at. I'm thankful. And it's every company has these inflection points where, in general, if you don't change or evolve, you die or you stay the same. Every company has that across all time. And so, COVID was everybody had the same inflection point at the same time, where it was oh man, you better change rapidly or die. And so that's where now in the community, I'm trying to encourage other business owners I know, oh my gosh, you don't have a website, get a website, or make there be less friction on your website because you can't get it delivered quickly and all these friction points. And so it's interesting watching myself on the other side of this thing, where 10 years ago, if I could talk to myself, I'd be like, get your platform going, put more focus on that, and put some passion into that.
And likewise, right, the opposite. If you just have a online store, maybe there are benefits that come from having the brick and mortar retail stores that are hard to understand until you have it. And I think one of the things I'm very interested to talk to you about is, you sell many supplements, right? That's a lot of the stuff you guys are selling is natural supplements. Mm-hmm. And with that, there's a high level of knowledge that needs to be passed on to your team to be able to make recommendations to customers who are looking for results for whatever they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people can buy a lot of supplements anywhere. What they're purchasing from the outside looking is like certainty around the knowledge and being able to ask the questions to help them find the right thing. And that's something that a lot of people who just sell online don't have as much of a connection with their customer as someone like you who's been doing it for 10, 15 years. What are some of the lessons that you've learned from the brick and mortar side, selling in person, that you've brought over to your online store?
Great question. You know, I say it all the time to my staff. It's like souls before sales, right? Trying to like get that into our culture. And we sell hope more than we sell supplements. You know, somebody's trapped on Vicodin or trapped on more anti-anxiety medication or sleep medication, terrible side effects, poisoning their body in different ways. They're struggling. They hate it, but they're stuck. And we sell hope. It's like we all know there's natural alternatives out there, but which ones work and which ones don't. So once you are working in the industry for, you know, really my whole life following my mom around, but 18 years specifically, you start to learn. It doesn't mean I'm a doctor or pharmacist. I don't think more of myself than I am. You just start to learn what works, what doesn't work, which brands are good and why, and which ones are bad and why. And once I gained that knowledge, I was like, oh, cool. You know, I've accumulated something here. Let's turn this into a training program. And I had the privilege too. I'm so thankful looking back to my journey. So thankful for going through the GNC because it taught me good and bad. And I didn't have any training going through GNC. You know, I remember somebody coming in. I remember trying to sell something and reading off the bottle like, well, B12, it's great for energy, you know, as I'm reading it off the label. And, you know, I've accumulated something through my years of selling. So then let's turn that into a training program. And so every wellness consultant that we hire has to go through this extensive training program where they have to pass quizzes and tests and vendor trainings and get certifications in certain things like CBD, for example. We've sold a lot of that over the last few years. And if you can bring that all to the online platform, you know, whether it's via live chat or a Zoom consultation or a phone call or email, then people are searching for knowledgeable and reputable resources to figure out their problems. And a lot of time they come for like a multivitamin, right? They're just like, hey, I just want a multivitamin. But then if you have the right knowledge, then you ask them like, oh, are you tired? And they're like, oh yeah, gosh, terrible fatigue. Like I sleep, but I still am tired, you know. And then we have the privilege of saying, well, dude, I think you might have adrenal fatigue or maybe chronic adrenal fatigue, and your stress is probably higher and your energy is obviously low. And, you know, do you know about these adaptogenic herbs over here that strengthen your adrenal glands? And day one, you'll feel more energy. So then all of a sudden they're getting a multi and an adaptogenic herb like rhodiola or schizandra root or ginseng or something like that. So now all of a sudden you've impacted this person and, you know, they're better off than before they talk to you. So now the next time they have a digestive issue, it's like, let's go back to the healthy place. Let's ask one of those wellness consultants that seem to know what's going on. And then we're getting people off drugs and we're getting people feeling better and life worth like fighting for, you know? So I think that kind of sums up our model a little bit. But it was just like, how can we bring this love that we share in the brick and mortar stores online and make it a little bit closer to something they can feel, taste, and touch, you know, like your experience.
And I want to dive into kind of the specifics and the technical side of that. But I read when I was doing my research that you have everybody go through about 3 months of training for all new hires. Is that?
Yeah.
I read that somewhere. Is that still correct?
Yeah. And that was really hard in the beginning because it was like, crap, you know, it's hard enough to hire a new person with, you know, always trying to make budget and all this stuff. I have a growing family myself. So like 3 months, we're going to make them sit in the back room and not work with customers. Like, are you kidding? And I remember arguing with myself about that in the beginning. But it's like you got to protect that customer experience at all costs. And you have to guard the mission statement, you know, impact, empower, and educate every customer to learn, grow, and create a lifelong foundation of health and wellness. So it's like my integrity's on the line if I'm going to create a consultation with somebody that doesn't know their business. So yeah, 3 months. And I had a couple dudes, Charlie and Billy on my team, that helped create it. So we created videos, and it was overwhelming at the time, but it's like you push through, you get it done, and you take the top 200 conditions. And from all of our experience, like, what are the best supplements for Crohn's disease? What are the best supplements for chronic pain, for stress, anxiety, depression, sleep issues? And we created video content on all of that, and then created quizzes and tests that they have to pass. And, sometimes they don't pass, and then they have to go back. It's like, come on. Vendor trainings and, AMM, CBD certifications. Just that course itself, takes some time. And so it's been pretty cool, man. I mean, looking back, I never would have thought. But again, it goes back to team. It's like hire for your weaknesses. Gosh, I learned some of this stuff from you guys. It's like hire for your weaknesses, the things you don't want to do anymore, and get a team along with you, and you can do awesome things.
It comes down to your competitive advantage as well, right? Like a lot of the stuff you're talking about, it seems like your competitive advantage is the fact that you're going to have more knowledge. You can bring that to the online space. And I don't think people invest enough time in training. I really think there's a total under investment going on in team and in employees, especially around like customer support. And again, everyone's product is different, and everyone's product requires differing levels of support. But for what you're doing, and if someone's listening and has a business that's similar, where you're selling products that people might be able to get somewhere else, it's like when it comes back to it, why are they buying from you? And you got to have your own competitive reason, and that's incredible to be able to build a team that's that strong, and they can answer questions, and that just kind of compounds over time. What are some of the things that you've learned about building team over the last 18 years, really? Yeah,
good question. And just to touch real quick on what you previously were saying, it's like I've had a bunch of folks, even my own staff at times, would be like, if you want to scale, like, I don't know if we can maintain the love that we're given to each customer, and the time, and the overall ability to have consultations. And I'm like, oh, I hope there's not what I'd say to you if you're in a similar business situation, it's like, protect that amazing customer experience at all costs until you can't, because I have to believe that if we invest more into our wellness consultants, invest more into our customers, that it will come back to us in such a strong way. And it's like, you got to invest and never stop investing in your difference makers to make them more shiny. They're like little diamonds that are shining, and that's what's going to attract people. So if you have a conviction on a service or a way or one of your difference makers, keep fueling that puppy, and don't stop unless you totally have to. Keep investing in that, because it takes some balls, to keep continuing, because it's like you got to hire more people, right? And I could have that money, and it's like tempting, it's like, oh, I could shave this model a bit and I could make a lot more money, and it's like the vision, and that's why mission statements and vision statements are so powerful too, because it holds you accountable to what you actually want,
So let's talk a little bit about the difference makers specifically. So live chat and free Zoom consults. How do you actually deliver that online?
Yeah. So I always say this word wrong. Calendly is a great scheduling, resource where you shoot, you say you got email marketing going on. So, and a quick, shout out to Get Found Madison. They've helped me get my poop in a group in regards to email marketing and Facebook ads and Google ads and really organic search and SEO. I just love Egan and his whole team, Get Found Madison. They're unbelievable. So you just stick the link for the Calendly right in a flow, an email flow. And so in our customers, we highlight the power of a consultation and how you ask a question. That's the first step to your testimony for whatever you struggle with or suffer with, whatever related to your health. And, sign up for a consult today. So you click on the button, right? And then you can choose between a Zoom call, a phone call, or live chat, and you can have a consult in that way. So it's like trying to create that funnel to get consultations started. Again, I think I might have learned this from one of your podcasts, but it's like what metric in your company, if increased, would be the most powerful? Like what would be the most powerful metric? And for us, it might be consultations, not just a new user or new customer, because like there's so many places you can buy supplements. Once you have a consult with one of our wellness consultants, which a lot of them are smarter than me, it's like, boom, impact. You've like helped that person struggling with chronic fatigue have more energy daily for like the rest of their life. Like what a powerful impact. So then they come back forever and they tell everybody they know. And so it's that consult that we're trying to increase. So that's a good, I'm excited about that. That's something we're just launching actually from a Zoom call perspective. So that it takes a team, you got to have somebody that's available to take a Zoom call. So it's all this flex,
And so back to my earlier question, I kind of interrupted you. What are some of the things you've learned about team?
Yeah, dude, I shouldn't be too strong negatively over myself, but there's times, man, I suck as a leader. It's like, oh man. So I've really had a journey over the years. I'm the guy who like really likes everybody, and I'm like, oh, I like you, and yeah, let's hire you and hire you. So what I've learned is I'm not good at hiring, so I need help. And actually, Becky, my wife, we run the company together, co-owners together, and she, is in charge of hiring. And that's been a really healthy decision because I've had some doozies. So we have a hiring team. It's her and Ashley and Lindsay. They are our hiring team. And that's since I made that transition, since I let go, because in the beginning it's like, no, I love my company, I want to hang on to that. But then it took me a while to realize I sucked at it and I kept making bad decisions in hiring. So really good transition. Another thing, organization. It's like I'm not organized. Often my thoughts aren't organized. My desk is not organized. My store, before I hired the right people, was not organized. And so Aaron, with inventory, it was like, I'm going to hand over this because you're better than I am at it. And there's a couple things I'm really good at, and I'm going to hone into those things and, make that be what I do day to day. So, it's more people. And I think that's maybe the best lesson I've learned in regards to building teams is, hire for your weaknesses, and get off your plate the things you hate, because if you hate it, you're probably maybe not the best man for the job. And, let go, because a lot of it's letting go. And that's hard too. Another big lesson is let go of it before they're as good as you are. Because,
sure,
who's as good as the owner, at XYZ, it's sometimes you find a guy that's better, and that's great. I love my customers so much. I feel like I'd give my right arm for a lot of these, customers I've worked with. And it's like, you can't ask all your staff to do the same always, but you got to let go. I think John Maxwell says, 80%, get them to 80%. And so that's a couple big lessons I've learned. Also, the whole quick to fire, slow to hire. That's a good one. I hang on to people way too long. I got some stories there too. It's like, get you into trouble, quick to fire, slow to hire. That's and I don't know about you, but I've been under the gun a lot of times. It's like, we just need to hire somebody. Well, if you follow that principle, let's make sure we do it right. You're going to waste a lot more time and be under a lot more pressure if you hire the wrong guy that you're dealing with. We all have that rotten apple, or if not, you will. If you haven't had that, you will in your future at some point.
Sure.
Like, oh, crap.
One of the best things I've heard recently about hiring and not just hiring, but relationships, is if you make the wrong decision, whether that's you're with the wrong partner or you hire the wrong person, it's just a matter of time before the breakup happens or the firing happens. And so if it's the wrong choice from day one, the only differentiating factor is the time between how long you meet the person and how long you end the relationship. Right? That's the most important thing, right? You hire the wrong person, it's just a matter of time, and it's up to you how long that's going to drag out.
Oh, and I man, personally speaking, it's like, I've had people, and it's amazing. You know they're not working out, but you just want, I don't know how many people are like me, where you just want to make it work. You want to educate them. You know, I'm a big leadership type guy where I love good leadership. You know, everything rises and falls on leadership. And maybe if I lead really well, I can lead this person to victory and, you know, help them become all that God created them to be, you know, and you just have that dream and that vision for that person because life is a gift and life is beautiful. And don't you want to give your all? And don't you want to say, well done? And, you know, like Jocko always said, you know, like rest your head on your pillow at the end of the night. And, you know, but people don't always want that for themselves, or they're just not the right fit for the job. And it's like amazing how often you see that it's not working, but you just hang on. And it's like, so then you suffer for years trying to make it work. And it's like, then like you said, it ends in letting them go anyway, or them quitting. And it's like, crap, I wish I would have done that 2 years ago.
What are some of the things I know you've built? Obviously there's differences between growing a local brand and running advertising for a local brand versus digital ads. What are some of the things that you learned from advertising locally that helped you on your quest to have more success online?
Yeah. You know, we have had an operating budget of about $80,000 a month for a few years, and we've minimized that a bit, or been trying to. It's tricky when you get, but it really shifts, you know, radio, TV, postcards, and I do some of those like coupon clipper magazines with a little success here and there. But it's like radio, TV, postcards has been the main marketing dollars for most of my company's history. And just in the last year, have I gone to myself like, oh, this isn't gonna, like COVID. I mean, people aren't coming into stores as much, shifting online. Sure. We all kind of see that expediting happening. So I'm not going to keep pumping that kind of cash into radio and television when it's local. So now recently it's become the shift. It's like Facebook, Google ads, retargeting ads. All of a sudden that's half my budget right now. And that's a mega shift for my marketing budget. So it's all kind of shifting there. And I see in the coming months, years, like it just shifting more and more there. And then sure. All of a sudden it's like, well, why? You know, I don't know. I guess there still will be an investment into local, because I want my community here to know what we're doing and know what shifts we're making and how we're changing this, or we got a new product or this or that. But I think it's a whole different platforms.
For sure. Was there anything that you learned from running local, like radio and TV ads, that has transferred over and helped you in being successful in more digital advertising? Yeah.
I think the biggest, I hear that question. For me, having what do you call them? Just a marketing firm or digital agency has been huge. Yeah. I've used one called Ramp Results for management of my radio and TV, and a little bit of like OTT online and stuff like that. And then Egan, I mentioned, with Get File Madison, working with these guys that know what they're doing and that they handle it. And they, you know, in the radio TV space, they get a percentage from radio and television companies to manage it for you. So it actually doesn't cost you anything up front anyway, to have an agency for you, because they know so much more than you do. So I would get someone like Get Found Madison. I'd get somebody like Ramp Results for radio television, because they know a lot more than you do. So that's a big lesson there. Also, find out what works, quoting one of your podcasts here, but find out what works and double down. You know, that's been such an obvious yet elusive fact that every business owner should do, but it's amazing because most of them don't do it. They don't search for what's where. Isn't that funny? It's like,
wait, I like the shiny objects as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you get okay, how do I know what to try? And what do I know? How do I know what to put more money into? And it's honest questions. And I love helping these guys. So anybody out there, just give me an email or a call. I love helping through this journey, because I learned a crap ton moving through it myself. But it's just try something. Try, anything. See if it works, but start small. Don't pour your whole, start small. See if it works. Give it a good test. Don't buy into this whole 12 months. I've had so many radio TV guys, like, you got to brand it for 24 years before you're going to expect a return. And, money is hard to come by when you're struggling and you don't have as much. It's like, try something, find out what's working, give it a short test. Each type of advertising a little different, then double down. And it's been so fun through this CBD explosion because we were the first in the Madison area to be positioned to really take advantage of the CBD explosion. It was legalized in Wisconsin in 2017. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, oh, I think this is a race. So it's kind of like one of those aha moments where this is a race for the market in Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm on this, and we had 2 stores at the time. Now we have 4. And it was like every month our sales were going up and we kept just putting more logs on the fire, radio and TV. And it's just like, find out what works and double down. I love that.
It's awesome. One thing I noticed on your site is that you have a little pop-up on the left-hand side when people go to your site, and it asks all these questions, right? So most of the time people think about capturing emails. They're like, I want to get as many emails as possible. And on your site, you're capturing emails, but you're getting a lot of information, like a lot of information about what people are, challenges they're facing. What have you done with that? Is that something you built through Klaviyo, and what have you been able to do? Is that what leads to consultation, people signing up there? You get the information, and how does that help you determine what type of a follow-up process you're going to use depending on what people select as an ailment that they have?
Yeah. So just to clarify, it's like a pop out. So if you're listening and you're not like on the website, and it'll ask like, what are you interested in? CBD, help for chronic pain, digestive issues, and you click on one. So that collects those emails into different flows that we have on Klaviyo that will kick out or start a email marketing flow, I guess they call them, that will communicate on that topic. So there might be 3 emails on digestive problems, IBS or constipation or diarrhea, and what are the natural alternatives that can help. And hey, if you want to further this conversation, click here on and let's have a consultation with a wellness consultant, or pop on the live chat feature on our website and ask a couple questions right now. So that's what those are for. And it's been cool. This is all through just this last year. So this first year, our email marketing has been wonderful. I want to say it's around 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 even per week in sales generated just through some of those flows that you're identifying. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's like definitely a drive towards more personal, right? What you were saying, souls before 100%. Sales. Yep. Which leads to more sales.
Isn't that cool? That's what pumps me up, dude. It's like, do the right thing in life, and it doesn't mean it's always going to be like fun and games. Just do the right thing in your business for the people. Like, you have to be aware of the bottom line. Do what's best for the customer, and it's so neat. Even when you say to a customer like, "No, I don't think you need to buy that," their jaw kind of drops. Like, whoa, You're not trying to get a sale right now. No, I think you can do that. I think if you give this other one that you've been doing another 2 months, I think you'll get some breakthrough. And then all of a sudden they love you and trust you forever and are buying even more. And you're like, blah.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Tim, this has been freaking great. And I love hearing your story. What's one thing someone could take away from this episode that you are excited about that they could implement right away?
Oh, man. What I am most excited about is inspiring others and impacting others. And so whatever you are selling, like you are, people don't just, I really like making money. I've always been a business guy. Yes, you want to make money and you want to make a living and you might want to this or that. It's like you have a product that can change lives for the better, and stay true to that. That's something that doesn't take any immediate cost. It's like, stay true to your vision and be generous to like your staff. And as you stay true to your vision, you'll inspire other people. And, that's something that's just like, immediate that people can do. It's like impact. Life is short. Life is worth fighting for. Quality of life is worth fighting for. And keep on giving, keep on loving, and never stop. Never give up. It's awesome, dude. It's like a race, and it's exhilarating to not quit and to impact the world, because the world, people need people.
They do. Tim, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you hopping on and chatting with me. What's the best place if somebody wants to connect with you or learn more? Where would you direct them to?
Yeah, findyourhealthyplace.com. That's our website. And Facebook, facebook.com/Apple Wellness is still where we're at on Facebook, Instagram. And if there's ever any questions someone has, just like, hey, you can email me at tim@findyourhealthyplace.com, and our wellness consultants can help you out. Or from a business standpoint, I'd love to encourage people, and let's make a difference together. Awesome, Tim. Thanks so much, man. Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me. All right, here we go. Hey guys, it's Austin, and if you've been loving the podcast, you got to go check out brandgrowthexperts.com. That's where I work one-on-one with my clients to help them build faster growing, more profitable online stores. I've got coaching programs and workshops that we host all over the world. Would love to have you come check it out. If you're a fast growing e-commerce business, or you want to be a fast growing e-commerce business, you got to check it out. That's the spot for you. We go more in depth than we do in the podcast with comprehensive trainings and coaching to help you scale up. Check it out, brandgrowthexperts.com. See you there.